Hello, hello. So, I would like to share with you a dream I had about what is going to happen in 2012. I do this because I have noticed that there are so many theories about what will take place at winter solstice 2012 when the Maya calendar ends. Will the world end? Will there be a total destruction? Will there be a total spiritual ascension, like instant enlightenment for everybody? I cannot say what you should believe, and I cannot say what is the truth, but I would like you to hear this dream of mine. Many years ago, in 2005 actually, I kept dreaming that I was a cleaning maid in the field around Earth. I dreamt that every night, and I learned a lot about the field while I was dreaming. The field around Earth is not only an electromagnetic field that contains the atmosphere, it also contains the information in experiencing life. The field of Earth contains all the information on all the experience of every living entity that lives or has ever lived on Earth. Every individual, every species, every element and every cell, every people, every culture and civilization that ever existed has left their experiences in the field. All life forms and all lives left and continues to leave the imprints of their life experience like information in the field. And just as we all continue to feed this field of memory with our experience, we all tune into it as well. We all tune into those particular radio waves that contain the information that is relevant to any individual. We are continuously, like ever turned on radios, tuning into the field in an exchange of experience between what we perceive and what our ancestors have perceived. This is the way we orient ourselves. This is the way we compare our perceptions. This is the way that we evolve and learn, whether it is as an individual, as a soul, as a species, or as a culture. Animals do it, plants do it, water does it, minerals do it, and human beings do it. But we have a problem. The human waves of the field have been pampered with. The information on human experience is clouded with an unnatural smoke. In these dreams, I saw the field of information and how it works very clearly. And my job, my assignment was to help clean up the field. I was even dressing the part, wearing a costume of a dressing maid, of a cleaning maid with an apron and everything, scrubbing away in the fields of heaven, so to speak, seeing that as I scrubbed, little patches of light and knowledge were emerging from the smoky layers. One night, as I was having this same dream, it occurred to me for the first time to ask, why? Why is this field of information so dirty and obscured? Why do I have to clean it? Why can we not access our true heritage and remember who we really are? Why is the memory of human beings so corrupted? And suddenly I realized that I could see the outer surface of the field, and I decided to have a look from the outside. So I went up there and I stuck my head out of the field and had the shock of my life. Huge metallic constructions with the shape of giant mosquitoes were placed systematically around the surface of the Earth field. These machines appeared to be operated by grey stick figure beings with big heads. That was in my dreams, looked like aliens, you know. The machines existed and exist in some dimension that we normally cannot perceive, and they are sticking their trunks into the field of Earth. Do you know how mosquitoes feed? They stick their trunk into your system and spray poison into you so that your blood becomes thinner, and they then have an easy time sucking it up. Well, these machines were spraying a smoky substance into the field of Earth, particularly into those wavelengths that belong to us human beings. And this smoky substance is pure fear. This input of fear into our system generates 100 times the amount of fear in us. we start to fear everything and everybody, even ourselves. We think that everything and everyone is scary, and then we start to attack each other like hysterical animals. And this is happening on every level of society, from individual to state. This fear that rises from human beings is a powerful energy that the stick figure beings with their machines suck up and feed from. Our fear is their food. When I saw this, I realized that I had to tell somebody who could take responsibility, and the first person I could think of was the Dalai Lama. So I started to fly speedily towards India, and as I arrived outside the Dalai Lama office in Dharamsala, I no longer had a dream body. I had just become a little speck of light the size of a bee. I flew in through the window of the office of His Holiness and saw the great man seated behind his desk, meditating. And while my light was the size of a bee, his light was like a sun. I felt so insignificant and so ridiculous as I was buzzing around before this glorious light, but the Dalai Lama graciously opened one eye and greeted me with a little smile, and he said, "What is on your heart, little one?" And I eagerly told him what I had seen, and he listened quietly, and when I had finished, he nodded and said, "The stick figure beings have been here for thousands of years already, and they have been doing pretty much the same thing all the time. They have generated fear in human beings. They are the fear-mongers, because they feed on our energy, and no energy is more easily generated than fear. The natural fear that was meant by nature to keep us alert and to protect us has become an epidemic that is threatening to destroy us from within. However, my child, the fear-mongers are old and they are dying. They can no longer maintain their dominance. In 7 years from now," he said, "they will leave, and they will no longer be spreading fear into the human perception. When they leave, it will be like a great veil is being lifted from our minds. It is happening already, although in their panic the fear-mongers are trying to spread more fear now, more intensively than ever." "Then should we just wait for them to leave?" I asked. And the Dalai Lama said, "No, you should not just wait, because just as people are traumatized after a war, many people are going to be traumatized after the lifting of the veil, when they realize the abuse they have been suffering. A long period of healing will have to take place. This is where the light workers must step in, those who have already conquered their fears, those who have already released their pains. They have a job to do, to meet and to aid all those who are left hurt after the siege of the fear-mongers." But I said, 7 years? How can we do that in 7 years? Everybody is so lost. Because this was what I thought back then. This was 5 years ago, 2005. Human beings were lost. All of us. That's what I thought. And the Dalai Lama moved his hand in a gesture to make me see properly. And just as he was a great light and I was a small light, all over the globe, I could see the lights of people, some great, some really great, some smaller, but all of them bursting with light and all of them growing all the time, having been able to access some parts of the human memory that is about to be restored. They are the light workers, and they are everywhere, and more are coming too. "What can I do?" I asked. "I want to do something. I want to be part of this lightworky thing. Well, I don't know how." And he said, "It's enough that you want to do something. Then it will happen. Do not think more about it. Just move on and just be. Rid yourself of fear." And then I woke up. This was 5 years ago, and 2 years from now is 2012. So, if my dream is true, the fear-mongering veil is about to be lifted, and we all need to gather our strength and heal ourselves as much as possible, because there will be no destruction and there will be no easy ascension. There will, however, be a lot of fruitful work that has to be done. And I think maybe that is the truth. And anyway, I bless everybody.